Good morning and welcome to Law of the Land Part 3. Today is January 14th, 2018. Now, been doing a lot of thinking, which has now become my favorite pastime, while playing golf. You look at all the greenery and the shrubbery and you don't think about the robbery that's going on outside. This is an epiphany. What can replace the law? LAW. In other words, do you really need the law? Now, I'm nowhere near suggesting we don't want the law so that we can become scofflaws and outlaws. My point is, what if we found Elysium without law? I didn't say without order. See, to maintain order, to sustain order, to obtain order, to retain order, you don't need law. So the question arises, what do we need? I'll tell you what we need. We need common sense. You see, common sense will tell you, don't hurt your neighbor. Common sense will tell you, don't do stupid things. The law tells you the same thing, but it has a penalty. It has a sanction attached to it. But that's a kind of slavery, isn't it? You are enslaved by the law, LAW. But the law, LORE, of the land enslaves you to the truth. You get addicted to the truth. Common sense is the first reaction of an outburst of the truth. Don't you agree? Now, I'm not a fella who will read 100 books, 100,000 books, and then get my knowledge from these books. A lot of times I've read a lot of books, and I used to think to myself, am I a madman? Or am I somewhere near a normal thinking man? And a lot of things I found in books, I have already thought it out. Now we have names for it, like praxeology, the science of human conduct and reactions and interactions. Why do people do what they do? Praxeology, first conceptualized and innovated by, Mises, M-I-S-E-S, von Mises. Can't remember his first name now. Then they came up with another word called axiology, A-X-I-O-L-O-G-Y, which I believe, I wrote it down somewhere here, is the science of the nature, the study of the nature of values and value judgments. You see, they've given all kinds of cute, nice, politically correct words. But praxeology, axiology, psychology, doesn't that all remind you of the basic phenomenon called common sense? Now, common sense being the basis of who we are, because common sense is what determined primitive societies. They were labeled barbarians, heathens, pagans, because they worshipped the sun, the moon, the tides, the winds, the seasons. It's not that they worshipped the rain, the sun, the heat, the greenery, the shrubbery, and all the rest of it. It was a sense of gratitude, giving thanks to an almighty creator, a grand designer Because then they invented religion, you see. So now we have Brahma, Jehovah, Allah, Grand Designer, God Almighty. Like Mahatma Gandhi said once, when the British, in the quintessential wisdom, decided to divide and conquer, Muslims and Hindus were fighting and killing, and there's wanton bloodshed in India, 1947. All right? And Mahatma Gandhi reportedly said, brothers are killing brothers because each calls God with a different name. So the point is made. But anyway, India was liberated without firing a bullet, or casting a ballot, or singing a ballad. That's India. But coming back to common sense, you want order? You need to inculcate, develop, strengthen, buttress, enhance, improve, ameliorate, exercise common law. Did I say common law? Yes. The common law that comes from common LORE, that is enforceable by common sense. Now that wasn't difficult, was it? That was my epiphany today while I played 9 holes of golf. I didn't do too bad, but the point is, how do you enforce common sense? Very simple. Develop your conscience. Sharpen your consciousness. Because I'll tell you what, the LAW of the land is designed for commerce and slavery. Buying, selling, exchanging, bartering, leveraging, hypothecating, fungibilizing, all of that is contained and maintained and sustained and retained by law, LAW. But the LORE, the law of the land, which will give you the common law, LORE, governed, determined, developed, and shaped by common sense. Once you reach that apex, once you reach that zenith of human development, you develop a master race of thinking people. It doesn't matter whether you are black, brown, yellow, or red, or white, it doesn't matter. Olive-skinned. Now, I just thought of something. We use the word, oh, he's a white man. Oh, he's a black man. Oh, he's a brownie. When I was in England those days, they used to say, oh, yes, he's a nice chap, I think he's a Paki bugger. They thought I was Pakistani. Anyway, the point here, the law, LAW, is as asinine as saying the white man. See, Caucasians are not white. Huh? White. Let's see. This is white. Right? Is the Caucasian, the white man, white like this? He ain't. That's why our people call them pale face. So the law, with its arrow sharp home-finding device in the middle of a bullseye, painted by some painters, stuck into the tree by some arrows, explained by a professor of law. It's nothing but a farce. Huh? It's all rubbish, my friends. Common sense, common law. You don't need that. You see, can you imagine, just for 1 minute, imagine a society where there was no crime? Can you imagine? No victims, no crimes, peaceful, Elysium, paradise. The law, the existence of the law, LAW, tells me that we will encourage crime. I'm not saying crime is the cause and effect of the law, but I'm talking order. I'm not talking law and order. If you have order and just the law, LORE, you don't need the LAW, you see. The LAW is a necessary evil at best. I mean, there are some bad people in our midst. All right? There's nothing you can do about that. That's the study of nature, of values and value judgments. Axiology, AXIOLOGY. Now, common sense will also tell you to do the right thing. Common sense is like a check and balance. You're going to think something, you're going to do something, it'll tell you, hey, that's stupid. You know, the cause will eventually lead to an effect which may not necessarily be favorable. At best, it'll be deplorable. At worst, it will be irreparable. So, my friends, common sense. Instead of the law of the land, LAW, you need common sense to structure your own police power. I will keep coming back to that. Without police power, you can never be free. You can never enjoy the liberty of owning yourself. You see, right now, the devil owes you. I mean, I don't know how to pronounce GOVERNMENT. Devil sounds easier to pronounce. You see, the devil owns you. The day you're born, you got to have a birth certificate. The day you die, you got to have a death certificate. I mean, what is this? Huh? What is this? Like one time I remember I was in an airport somewhere and I forgot my passport, I forgot my wallet, and I had to go back. It wasn't too far. The girl asked me, do you have any identity? And I said, you think I fell here from somewhere? Here's my identity, but I don't have anything. Or do you have anything with a photograph? You see, they don't want the real thing. They want a photograph. You see, they want the counterfeit of you. You get my point. This is the real thing, but they want a counterfeit. There was a famous case, Jensen versus Quarring. JENSEN versus Quarring. QUARING. Google it. That was this chap in Nebraska who was stopped. And they asked him for his driver license. Guy gave his driver license. It had a name, no photograph. Cut long story short, they sued him and went all the way to the Supreme Court. He said, my religious rights were being violated because a photograph of me would be sacrilegious to the second commandment. Thou shalt not have, I think second or third commandment, thou shalt not have false images. See, if I'm made in the image of God, a photograph is a counterfeit. You see? It had a religious implication. Jensen versus Quarring. Make sure to research it. Spell it, Judge. Okay. JENSEN versus Quarring. QUARING. Jensen versus quoting. So there is God's law that you can evoke, and provoke upon the LAW of the land. Again, be careful. If you have the misfortune to enter into the courts of the devil, if you forgot to send a notice of special appearance, and if you are hauled up there, invited there, cordially invited as a defendant, be careful. The law is designed to finish you off. The law is not there to protect you. The law is there to protect the people who make the law. The law is made for the devil. It's not made for the bedeviled. We are the bedeviled. So remember, my friends, common sense. Look into the study of the nature of value. What is the value of common sense? That's the animal instinct in you that first tells you, stop, wait. I'm fond of using four-letter words. Stop, wait, don't, won't, can't. There's an old joke about that. A divorce case in a family court. The man was asked by the judge, "Why are you? Why are you doing this? I mean, why do you want a divorce?" He says, "My wife is famous for using four-letter words, Your Honor." She says, "Oh, really? What's that?" "Oh, won't, can't, don't, wait, stop, So, anyway. Common sense. Common law. LORE. Read up about your culture. You see, the culture of the Africans who came into America, what is their culture? Music, the power of entertainment, the duel, the football matches, the basketball matches. You see, that race is blessed with that nature. You understand me? Now you take the Native Americans, the red man, whatever, American Indians. What is their culture all about? Their culture is, leave me alone. Leave me to my ways. That's their culture. You take the Chinese, for example. What is their culture? Patience. Create wealth. It's the same with our Jewish brothers and sisters. Patience. Create wealth. The Japanese. The Koreans. The Mongolians. The Asians. The Indians from India. Wherever you come from, axiology will prove that your common sense is determined by your heritage and by your culture. When the European came into this continent, North America, the aim was to acculturate, acclimate, assimilate the Native Americans into Western ways. We didn't want that. We wanted to be left alone. Justice Brandeis wrote volumes on the right to be let alone. That's why you have the Fourth Amendment. You got the right to be left alone. And if anybody wants to come and search your house, your papers, your personal effects, they've got to have a warrant specifying what they are looking for. When a policeman stops you because you had a bad, broken tail light and you look, woe-begotten, like unshaven and a dirty vehicle, he immediately has a warrant in his voice. He says, well, pop your hood, would you? Or pop your whatever they call it, your trunk. He doesn't have a warrant to search. And you had the misfortune not to know 18 U.S.C. 1151 because you are operating not in commerce. You are traveling in Indian country. You don't need a driver license. You need a travel permit. 18 U.S.C. 1151. Hello. Take a copy, Google it, keep it in your car. Don't argue with that thug in a uniform and a taser, a laser, a gun, and all of that, the accoutrements that come, bald head, dark glasses, child molester, mustache. Don't get into an argument. Take it to another level. The level of common sense. Common sense has got a nice word to it. Higher intellect. So today, I want you to exercise the power of the higher intellect animated by common law, L-O-R-E, expressed as common sense, S-E-N-S-E. Here ended the lesson. We'll see you soon. Be blessed. And we love you guys. All right? Thank you.